Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today we're talking about first date conversation ideas. Alright, so first dates, it can be especially nerve-wracking, especially now that we're getting out again, we're no longer in lockdown. Meeting people face-to-face can be very, very nerve-wracking. So what happens when you lock into a date and you're afraid you don't know what to say, you're afraid of that really awkward silence. So I'm about to give you some ideas to try to eliminate that level of nervousness before a first date. So let's get into it. Number one is your elevator pitch. Now I know dating isn't the same as selling yourself, but an elevator pitch gives you a really good summary of who you are. So think of it as just bite-sized information about you. And if you have that prepared and somebody says, you know, tell me about yourself, which a lot of people do ask on first dates, then you've got that, you know, ready, so that no matter how nervous you are, at least you have that in your back pocket. You know, sometimes you meet somebody and you find them really intimidating, or you're just super nervous on a date for some reason. But if you have your elevator pitch, you know that you always have that as a go-to. So if you want tips on how to create your elevator pitch, then leave me a comment and I will do a follow-up video. Now the second tip is practice your storytelling. So I remember going on a road show for a previous job that I had, and I would follow my manager around and I would admire how she would handle and work a room. You know, we'd meet with all these clients, and in every single conversation she seemed to kind of own that dialogue, and she was very confident in speaking, even though we had to meet a whole bunch of new people and we had to basically get them to like us and to do business with us. And she did this one thing. She had a really interesting story and she told it every time we met someone new. And if you think about it, if you watch like talk show, late night shows, and the hosts are interviewing celebrities, they always have this one story. You know, it could be like a story about them traveling and them getting stuck, a story about how their kids refuses to eat a certain type of a fruit. They always have something interesting. So if you have a story to tell, practice having a couple of stories to fill those gaps. You know, for example, somebody asks, what interesting things have you learned lately, or tell me something recently that's happened, or there's nothing to say and you just want to tell a story, then you've got at least a few in your back pocket. So I would, you know, come up with at least 2 or 3 just so that you have them on hand. Number 3 is to prepare. Now I don't know about you, but if I'm running late, or if I don't know where I'm going, or if I don't have my outfit ready, or if I don't feel confident, then I will feel frazzled. So the best thing you can do really is get prepared. So have a couple of first date shirts that you feel comfortable in, that are clean, that are pressed, you can just grab and go, and just stick with that. Make sure that you Google map where you're going before your date, how long it's going to take you to drive there, whether there's traffic. Just, you know, do those things to eliminate you getting frazzled before a first date, because you know the last thing you want to do is run into a date 10-15 minutes late and you're sweaty and you know you need some time to gather yourself, and that's going to be your first impression for someone else. So yeah, number 3 is prepare. Number 4 is practice your listening skills. So you realize that the people who are really, really likable are the ones who really take the time to listen. In a conversation, it's a Q&A, right? They ask a question and they genuinely listen to the answer. You have no idea how many people just ask a question, and then the minute they finish asking, you can tell that their minds are, they're moving to another question, or they're moving to another thought. They're not really asking you. You can answer them, but you can tell by their response they haven't heard your answer. So practice your listening skills. That's a massive one. And the last one is number 5. The last tip I can give you is be prepared to share something. Be prepared to get uncomfortable, because that's how you build trust, right? If you're vulnerable with yourself, if you're vulnerable about sharing things about you that not many people know, then you build trust. You make people feel comfortable. The 5th thing to do is be prepared to be vulnerable, because you know the minute you show that side of vulnerability, you make other people more open to doing the same. You make them feel a little bit more comfortable, and you just show a real side of you. I think in first dates, it's so, everything is so surface, you know, what do you do? What do you do on the weekend? That I think it's actually really refreshing when you can share something. It could be your fears, a mistake that you recently made. You know, you don't have to talk about your failures, but just be open to sharing something and being vulnerable. So those are my best 5 tips for first dates. It doesn't have to be, again, for guys, it's first date tips for anyone, or if you're meeting someone for the first time. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.